Hey guys, it's a new day. I forgot what day this is. It's working on my second week of retirement. I don't know. There's so many things that go along with this thing. But you know what? Yesterday was such a sad day. I didn't sleep good last night, but I want to have a happier day today. Not saying that still ain't going to be on the back of our minds for a bunch of us the rest of our lives. But I thought I'd have a memory day today. You know what's funny is when you're young and you're growing up and the older people are together, the young kids are so busy going off and having fun and everything. You know what they miss? They miss listening to the older people, the elders, talking about the days of the past, things they did, got in trouble for, learned from. And so I thought today I would let y'all have a good laugh. I always laugh every time I think about it. My mother, there were 9 of them in the family. So it was a large family. And my mother's family were Lumbee Indians up around Lumberton, North Carolina. So my mother was kind of, the feeling I've gotten from hearing the stories was a goody two-shoes, you know, prim and proper and all that stuff. Well, I had another aunt. See, there were there were 5 girls and there were 4 boys, but a baby didn't make it. Oh, I'm sorry, Pete's going on in the background. But one of the sisters was one that kind of pushed, I guess, that kind of sounded like the limits at times. So they had gone out. Sorry, Fred's trying to get to his food. I don't know if he's going to do another head. I don't know, he's going to do it right today. No head dive. Found out he absolutely loves earthworms. He might give it a story. So they went out one night. And back in the day, they used to make watches, you know, you could get them to glow at night. And so they were a little late getting home. So my mother goes on in, gets her whatever Grandpa was going to say, because he, of course, lit up his watch to see what time it was. My aunt didn't come in. There was a scaffold built by the bedroom window. So she was like, little Miss Goody Two-Shoes is once going to get fussed that night, and I'm going to sneak up in through the window and, you know, not get in trouble. Well, she climbed the scaffolding, and she's sitting on the scaffolding, and you can imagine the moon shining through, showing her silhouette. And she's knocking on the window to my mom. Let me in. Let me in. Nope. And the longer she sat there, begging my mother to let her in, the later it got. Eventually, she ended up having to come in, and getting it from my grandpa. I always thought that was just so funny. And just imagining my aunt sitting on that scaffold with the sunbeams, showing her, and her saying, let me in. I'm in trouble about, let me in. And my mother sitting there. My mother was a mess. All my aunts were messes and ways, and I got so many stories to tell. But that always was one of my favorites. Just being able to picture it in my mind. And I'm sure y'all have family stories that when you just think about it, you can't help but laugh. You can be sitting there all alone. Everyone look at you like, what are you laughing about? Have you lost your mind? No, I'm just reminiscing about funny things in life. We need a lot of that, So, what I want to say is kids, take the time. Listen to the elders. There's going to be stories that make you laugh. I mean, be stories that make you cry. And I had a prankster type family. And I'll give you another story. My aunt had a son that was married to a woman that evidently made really, really good cakes. Everybody had left, and I was at my grandmother's all alone. A knock comes on the door. And it's, my uncle. And so we let him in. And he says, my wife made a cake, and I wanted to bring it to you. And we're like, oh, well, we're going to take it from him. He's like, no, I got it. And he goes in, he sets it on the table. Now, I didn't want to be the first one to go in there and cut that cake. So I'm sitting there and everything. Well, Grandma kind of disappeared for a minute, and she come back, and she says, Pam, why don't you go get you a piece of that cake? And I'm like, well, if Grandma says I can, okay. I go in there. I get my plate, my fork, and I'm fixing to eat me something good. I go to cut that cake, and it was cement. And he had put 2 jars of frosting on top of it. Delivered it in a beautiful dish. Grandma was standing in the doorway. Let's see what my expression was. So when I realized it was a joke, because he was a practical joker, I fixed the frosting back. And we had the most fun with that cake. Every time somebody, ooh, Don's wife made a cake. Better go get you a piece. And everybody go in there. Next thing you know, even the preacher showed up. Oh, you got to have a piece of that cake. We're going to let you have the first piece. And then everybody sit back and watch. Have fun. Do something that makes a memory. Something that you laugh at decades later. Anyway, I'm not going to be hashing any harsh topics today or stuff like that. I'm going to have a good, happy, fun day. I hope y'all do too. God bless.